We are coming to you live. It seems the big question is, are you guys sick and tired already of hearing stories about Burna Boy and all the escapades and everything that's going on, the backlash, everything, all the information, all the news circulating? Are you tired of it just yet? Are you really, really tired? Well, don't get tired just yet. Here's one more voice. I'm going to be lending my voice to this one also. So here's one more opinion. Here's one more side of the story that I think maybe you can listen to or choose not to. I'm going to dig into it a little bit, just a little teeny tiny bit. Well, for one thing, those of you who have been following this channel do realize that we absolutely love the music of Burna Boy, and of course a lot of the Afrobeats artists out there. We absolutely enjoy their music, the production, and everything that they have to offer. The genre, the culture, you name it, we totally support a lot of it. But sometimes it's vitally important that we separate the artist from the artistry. And this is a situation right now when it comes to what is going on with Burna Boy. Now, what happened to him is not news anymore. The information is well circulated, has gone around the entire world. Burna Boy is, after all, an international artist, Grammy-winning artist, Grammy-nominated, won so many awards over the time that he has actually realized his career as an artist. So yes, he is well renowned. He is known all over the world. And one thing that a lot of people have also known him for has been the attitude, the level of arrogance that he, confidence, you could call it that. You can call it also self-esteem and things like that. That is one thing that we all know Burna Boy for. But it seems as if this time around he pushed the envelope a bit too far, and it has gotten him into trouble. Well, before I dig into all of that, all the information and, my own take and our own take on it, I would like to also ask you, if you can, do subscribe to this channel, to the Afrobeat Cult. We are about to hit major milestones, and we have been quite consistent trying to earn your support, trying to earn your love, and trying to earn the fact that we know that without you, we cannot continue. So hit that like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, and keep us growing as much as possible. And that gives us a lot of push to do much more and to continue to earn your love and trust and support. So back to the Burna Boy issue. So this is what we're talking about. Before I give my take, I'd also like to at least give certain perspective on the issue and why I think that in some cases, why arrogance and disrespect often happens when artists become quite successful. And one of the points that I would like to make here is that sudden power and influence. All of a sudden you're in a position where you have not really made any impact, because let's face it, he came, using Burna Boy as an example, he came through a system, and he had to work really hard to be where he is today. Now, a lot of people who have known him based on the interviews that we have had of him in the past will realize that he has been this cocky, he has been this arrogant, and he has been, kind of self-assured that he is on top of his game, that he will get somewhere. A lot of people who have followed his career have often realized that that's the kind of person that he is. Does that excuse anything? Not really. But when an artist blows up, global recognition, awards, and so on, massive crowds at every concert. I mean, he fills out stadiums, not just in the UK, not just in Nigeria, but all over the world. So this kind of creates a power imbalance. The artist becomes the center of attention. This is what is happening to him right now. And people around them often say, yes, you have a lot of yes men around him that are literally agreeing to everything that he says. They say yes to everything with no one checking them. The egos, goes and grows unchecked continuously. Now, remember I said this is no excuse for anything. And then the other thing we think about is isolation from normal life. Now he is cut off from normal life because he's quite famous. So the things that we often have to deal with as regular people, he often does not have to deal with that. Fame creates a certain kind of a bubble, and the artists are often, protected from, facing regular everyday people. So this is an issue that they often have to deal with. They're shielded from criticism, surrounded by staff and fans and people who are literally worshiping them on a daily basis. Then you have the issue of pressure, exhaustion, and cost of fame. Constant touring, intense schedules, expectations from labels, and so on and so forth. Fans wanting you to deliver the same level, the same standard that you have done. So there is quite a lot of pressure on these artists and these creative people. Social media, for instance, the social media culture, when an artist sees millions defending him, defending them no matter what. And he's not alone in this. We're looking at the Afrobeats artists, we're looking at BURNABOY and the recent case of KIZZ Daniel, and we're literally facing and talking about the Afrobeat scene, essentially. So when you have these kind of the social media structure, the social media culture, when people start thinking they are above accountability, so this is exactly what's happening. When the numbers that they see online kind of rewards them for it, all the controversy that the more trouble he gets into, the more popular he is, the more desirable he is, and as an artist, as a brand. So being bad, being in trouble seems to them to be a brand that they can sell and use to create more fame and more attention. Then you have the issue of trauma and personal background. Many artists come from difficult backgrounds, difficult environments. Success doesn't automatically heal old wounds, and sometimes ego becomes a shield to hide those levels of insecurity that they have. So these are just typical examples. And then of course you have other issues that relate to how fans can push back. Fans can actually make a difference. Fans can actually push back, and these are some of the pointers that I would like to make today that you can consider if you are a fan of some of these big artists. So, for instance, you can use your voice in a responsible manner. And what do I mean by that? Call out disrespectful behavior without resorting to insults. You don't have to attack the their personality. You can talk about the stuff that they did that was not good, that was not okay. The behavior that he exhibited by sending somebody out of the concert because the person dozed off is not acceptable. Kicking and hitting a fan that jumps on stage, that's what you have the security for. Move away. That means your security is not doing the job that they have been paid to do. So it is not for you to physically assault the fan that jumps on stage or insult people and call them out and embarrass them the way you have done. So that's completely bad. It also goes into the point where you pay an artist to show up and they don't show up. They either come late or they disrespect the contract that they have. So taking people, disrespecting people is also one of the things that does happen. And you have a voice to make changes when it comes to that. Support with conditions. You don't have to cancel anyone. And that is one thing that I've noticed right now is happening in the industry with a lot of people who never really liked these artists in the first place. They're now launching campaigns to cancel. And these are the kind of things that we currently don't want to happen. The cancel culture is a negative, not just on the artist, but the entire culture, the entire genre, and so many other people that actually live and breathe using or going through the work of these artists and these people. Imagine the people that have to feed their families as musicians and as artists, as a light engineers, as sound engineers, so who live on these tours on a daily basis. So you not only affect the artists, you also impact on the livelihoods of so many other people. So you can support these things to make these changes without having to go into this cancel culture that will negatively impact so many other people and not just the artists alone. Shift attention. Fans have the power to shift attention. When you uplift positive behavior, that means, there's so many other artists that are doing what needs to be done. There's so many other artists that are adding value to our culture, to our society, to our communities. Support those ones, talk about those ones, use those as reference points, use those as the example to set a standard for the ones that are not behaving the way they should, respecting their fans and giving credit to everyone who happens to support and uplift the standard, the status where these artists are now. So cancel culture is not the way to go. hold the team accountable too, because you have people, you have backers, you have people that are supporting these artists that are merely just playing lip service to a lot of these artists. For instance, the managers, the PR teams, the entourage that often follow them about and just say yes to everything, and they can influence how an artist communicates. Fix it if it's not working, get them to fix it. Fans can push for professionalism from the entire team, from the entire camp. Stop enabling toxic narratives. Some fans say that that's just how they are. That's the way the artist is. He's a superstar and he's entitled to behave that way. Stop supporting that. That normalizes bad behavior. That normalizes disrespect. A healthier fan culture demands better. Now, how to help an artist? You can, offer these kinds of things when, you're posting your social media rant about the bad behavior and the way artists are behaving. You can lend your voice in this way. Promote mentorship and grounding practices. Artists benefit from older ones, the ones that have gone through the system, that have had to deal with situations like these. They're more experienced. These younger artists can learn from them, and you can push these older artists, this more experienced artists, to add value to the lives of the ones that are up and coming, to the ones that are behaving in the way that they are. For instance, you never know, maybe this dude or these people are going through some mental or emotional breakdown from all the Now remember, Burna Boy has been on the road for quite a while. Now remember, I'm just saying this, I'm not saying it's an excuse for him to behave the way he has. They're on the road a lot, and being on the road can be a lot of burden. Yes, it is what they signed up for. But at the same time, we must remember that these people are also human beings, and they will break down at some point, and the pressure will start to tell at some point. Who knows? This is what probably happened to him. And he might be a nice guy to his friends, but at the end of the day, these things tend to build up with all the other points that I have made to make him behave in the way that he is behaving currently. And that, it kind of magnifies who he is as an artist and as a person, so it blows up into these ways. Humanize them, but don't worship them. That's easier said than done, I guess. They are people too. Artists are human beings, not gods. So stop treating them like gods. Stop treating them like they're the all in all, that they're everything. When fans treat them like humans, it encourages them to act like humans. So push for respect as part of the brand. So this is the point. These are the points that you as a fan can, how you can impact on the way these artists behave. So this is one thing that you can do. For instance, Afrobeats is global now. It's a global brand now. Artists represent cultures and communities. Fans and platforms are like, this is something that we're dealing with every day. Talent is great, but character is also part of the legacy that they're leaving, the things that they're teaching. They tend to become role models at this stage, whether they want it or not. They tend to be the bearers of the culture, whether they accept it or not. And that is part of the terrain. That is part of the field. And finally, it doesn't only refer to Burna Boy per se, it also refers to KIZZ Daniel, who is reported allegedly to have had a contract on tour, to go on tour across Europe. But at some point he failed in, not turning up. I mean, it's something that we can blame both sides for the mistake. Whatever the truth is about that, this is seemingly becoming quite rampant amongst a lot of the Afrobeat artists. This is something that we need to change. This is something we need to look into, both as those that are professionals in the field and those that are not, including the fans. So when you're putting out content, when you're putting out information out there, please make sure that these are things that you should take into consideration and not just jump on the cancel culture campaign. That doesn't work. That hurts everybody, not just the artists, but everybody within the industry. So let's take a second look at everything we're doing. So what should we do? Should we ban Burna Boy, or should we cancel KIZZ Daniel? Well, it's a decision we have to make. Well, it's not looking so good for a lot of these artists heading towards the end of the year. So I hope all things work out eventually with your support. So thank you for being a part of today's show. And remember, do support. You can subscribe to this channel, to the Afrobeat Cult, and I will most definitely be appreciating you for that. So thank you. Until next time. Remember, this one is a live one, so you will get to see the replay later. All right. So until next time, see you guys. Bye.